take my time and get this across. I've been reading this book and I've read this book several times. Acres of Diamond, written by Russell Herman Conwell. Mr. Conwell is an American Baptist preacher, an orator, and a philanthropist. Man Wondrous Acres of Diamond here spark a new challenge to the appreciation of God-given resources and privileges. There's a story in this book that breaks home the point of today's video. And like my mentor said, never tell a story without making a point, and never make a point without telling a story. So, Minister Conwell tells the story in this fashion. As he was traveling down the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, along with a party of English travelers, he found himself under the guard of an old Arab. The duty of the Arab was not just to guard them as they traveled along those ancient rivers or do whatever he was paid for, but also to entertain them with stories, curious and weird, familiar and strange, ancient and modern. Of all the stories that was told, there was a particular story that Minister Conwell pointed out, and this is the story that we are going to be focusing on in today's video. Old Arab told Minister Conwell that he reserved that story for a particular friend. Let's tell the story. Once upon a time, there lived not far from the river Indus an old Persian farmer by the name of Ali Hafed. Ali Hafed had orchards, green fields, and gardens. He was a wealthy and contented man. He was content because he was wealthy, and wealthy because he was content. One day there visited the old Persian farmer, one of the ancient Buddha priests. He was one of the wise men of the East. He sat beside the fire until the old farmer heard this world of ours was created by the Almighty. He told the man, if you had a diamond of this size of matter, you would purchase the country. And if you had a mine of them, he would put his children upon thrones through the influence of the wealth. Ali Hafed heard all about diamonds and how much they were worth. He went to bed that night a poor man. He had not lost anything, but he was poor because he was discontented, and discontented because he feared he was poor. Early in the morning, Ali Hafed rose up, sought the prince, and asked, where can I find diamonds? And the prince asked, why? He said, I wish to be immensely rich. The prince told him, find a river that runs through wet sand between high mountains. In those white sands, you always find diamonds. Because of that, Ali Hafed sold his find, collected the money, and put his family in charge of the navy. He wandered from Palestine to Europe when all his money was spent and he was in rags, richness, starvation. He stood on the shore of the bay at Barcelona in Spain when a great tidal wave came flowing between the pillars of Hercules. The poor, afflicted, suffering, dying mind could not resist the awful temptation but to cast himself into the incoming wave. He sank beneath its crest and never to rise again in this life. The man who purchased Ali Hafed's farm one day took his camel to drink in the garden where the streams are. He saw the curious flash of light in the wet sand, reflecting off the hues of lights of the rainbow. He took the stone and took it in and put it on a mantel in his drawing room. Days later, the same old priest came in to visit Ali Hafed's successor. When he opened the drawing door, he saw the flash of lights. He exclaimed, "Has Ali Hafed returned? That is a diamond." He said, "Oh no, he hasn't, and that is not a diamond." But the priest said, "I tell you for sure that is a diamond. I know a diamond when I see it. I'm sure positively that that is a diamond." Together they rushed out into the field, into the wet sand. When they stirred up the sand with their fingers, a lot more came out, more beautiful and precious, valuable than the first one. Ali Hafed remained home and dug a cellar on his green field or in his garden instead of wretchedness, starvation, death by suicide in a strange land in who have had acres of diamond. The moral of this story as it is applied to our life today is that we all have acres of diamonds, opportunities to get largely wealthy, but we are found out there looking for what is right under our chin. The story of Ali Hafed has been told holds a direct equation of our life today. We all have our own acres of diamond within us. Your wealth is too close to you. You are looking right over it. Some of our brothers and sisters have failed because when they get the incorrect understanding of being successful, they look outside instead of looking within. There is something so special in you. All you need to do is to recognize it, develop it, and market it to the world. Step by step, day by day, year by year, get yourself ready. Personal development first and productivity second. There is something special within you, folks. Never underestimate that. There is something special within you. All you need to do is just to dedicate and commit yourself in finding that special thing. Remember, if you want to be great at all, you have to start with where you are and what you are. I'm going to be calling some names, and we are going to be underlying what they are known for. Cristiano Ronaldo, soccer. Lionel Messi, sir. Bill Gates, Microsoft. Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook. Martin Luther King Jr., freedom fighter. Professor Lumumba, Pan-Africanism. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, acting. Lucky Dube, Bob Marley, music. George Manuel Weah, circle, politics. I want to leave this question with you. Do not rush to answer it. When your name is mentioned, what would they say and remember about you?